These are the Razors SL Navy. They retail for around $220 US. The Razors SL are one of the more popular boots in the Razors lineup. They come with Featherlight 3 frames, 59mm wheels, and ABEC 9 bearings. The boot is a flat design with an internal shock absorber, perfect for landing gaps. What makes the SL unique is the sole system. Rather than have a single sole plate, the sole area is made up of 3 replaceable parts. This allows for a lower ride height and lots of customization options. I took them to my local skate park to see how they feel.
Alright, so these are the size 10.5 skates. It is a 28.5 liner. The shell break is 10 to 11. So it's like a 44 to a 45, I think. Which is a little different. Usually with aggressive skates at least, you'll have a break of 41, 42, 43, 44. So I would be on the higher end of most shell breaks. In this case, I'm on the lower end, or almost right in the middle. The sizing feels okay. Maybe a little big, but not unbearably big. There's a lot more room in my toe than I am used to. That's not a huge problem yet, but I feel like it might be a problem when the liners break in. As for these liners, I've got this weird digging feeling. The tongue, like on the top part of the liner, feels like it's digging into my toes a little bit. I'm going to try to adjust it and see if I can pull it up a little bit, but it keeps sliding down and starts digging into my toes, which doesn't feel good. The ride-wise, it feels like I'm leaning forward more than normal. That's something that, it's going to take a little getting used to. The built-in shock absorber might be thicker than it needs to be. So for a USD 7, I think the shock absorber is a lot thinner. So it leans me forward, but it doesn't lean me forward so much. This feels like it's leaning me forward a lot. Like I feel like when I'm skating, I'm kind of leaning forward more than I should, which throws off a little bit of balance, for airs and such. The wheels, oh my God, the wheels are really gross. They just don't feel like anything. They're very wide, very flat. I feel like I can't turn, and I'm skating anti-rocker. These are the Featherlight 3s. I think they're the size 3, which is a fairly long frame. So longer frame with anti-rocker means that you turn even less. It's that feeling that you're on the railroad tracks. You can't really get off them. But I don't like this feeling. The wheels, I think, are the big problem. They just feel squishy. They feel slippy. They feel wide. They feel cheap, All right, no issues with sole tricks. They feel great. No problems whatsoever. This sole is fairly wide. It's not one of the widest soles that I've skated. Like the USD Shadow is probably the widest. But I absolutely didn't have any problems locking on. I could feel like when I was doing my alley-oop sole, typically that's a really good trick to judge the balance and the lean. And for my alley-oop sole, I definitely felt like I was leaning forward more on my toe, which wasn't a bad thing. It made me lock more on a balance between my sole foot and my groove foot, and that let me lock on better, stronger, and slide the whole thing. I've definitely skated skates where it felt like I was leaning back, and I would get stuck with alley-oop soles. It's definitely not the case here. Groove tricks, no problems. No problems whatsoever. These frames are designed for anti-rocker. They have a really deep groove, and that groove is angled perfectly for these skates. So when I jump on Royale, typically, you know, I'll fall to one of two ways, right? Either I'll fall because I'll get wheel bite and I'll pull out, or I won't go low enough and I'll kind of slide on my frame, but kind of not. Here, the angle that you have to get boot down is so minimal that when you jump on, you are boot down. It felt great. I mean, really, really easy. Maybe too easy, if that's a thing. Like, I don't know, we're all old, so I don't know that too easy is really a concept anymore. If you're having fun skating, just enjoy skating. But these definitely feel like cheater skates for Royale tricks, if there was such a thing. Back Farv, back Unity, same thing. Took a little bit to get my Unity lock, but as soon as I did, I just kind of sat on it and it felt fine, like no problems whatsoever. As I always do, let me preface by saying that I'm not very good at topside tricks. These felt great, absolutely great. Top acid, I mean, I feel like that's my strongest. And I mean, I locked fairly solid first try. Really locked solid. I think the boot being squishy, left and right, really helps with locking those topside tricks. Really weird feeling when I do my kind grind, my front foot, like my lock foot, the one that's on the groove, the inside edge. It feels like it's so low to the foot, like I can feel the grind on the inside of my foot, like an actual, like there's no distance between my foot and the ledge. It feels like I'm right on the ledge. Kind of like I would imagine the old K2 fatties were when you do Royale. Like you just feel like your Royale foot is right on that ledge because there wasn't much material separating it. I feel like my foot is right on that ledge when I do the kind grind.
After a few sessions, I made a few changes to the skates. First, I swapped in a better liner, the Rain V3. Second, I removed the cuff and used some wax to get rid of that annoying squeaking. The improvements were noticeable, and I ended up with some of my best sessions yet. I started to really enjoy the low ride height. And that Royale groove is second to none. The Razors SL are a great mid-range skate for most people. I love the boot design and felt really confident when I was skating them. The most important thing to do is upgrade the liner. Literally any liner on the market would be an improvement, but I think sticking with the Rain brand is probably the right idea. Razors recently announced the Derek Henderson SL. This is a pro model skate and it comes with the Rain liner built in, so it's probably a better buy. Overall, I highly recommend the Razors SL for almost any aggressive skater. Upgrade the liner and probably replace the wheels, and you'll have a really great ride.